Now, last question there, of course, has been a ton of speculation, changes for the Suns and the Warriors. We talked about the Lakers, but these are the other teams that big expectation, especially for the Suns, that just hasn't panned out. If who do you think? Which team do you think will see bigger change with? There's been a lot of talk with the Suns. Maybe it's that they fired the coach. Maybe Durant asked for a trade. Now we got the recent stuff with Stephen A. and the Knicks and Booker. With the Warriors, been talking about maybe trading Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson leaving the free agency. Which team do you think when we enter next season will be a lot different than they are right now?
Yeah, I think the Warriors are going to make more changes, frankly, because they have more assets to work with. Steph Curry's not going anywhere. I don't think Draymond Green is either. I think the Warriors and Klay Thompson want to keep that partnership going, assuming that Klay is willing to take a substantial pay cut under the guise of he's not the same player as he was before, and that extra savings will help them build a better supporting cast. And they also have some good young talent, with Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski. They do have some things going in their favor, as well as some tradable contracts. With the Suns, yes, clearly what they showed this season shows that top-heavy big three lineup's not going to work. But barring the Suns trading any of their big three players, I don't know how they improve the roster. I mean, they can obviously try to reshuffle things with their supporting cast, but that just might be rearranging chairs. But I think the tough thing is that Matt Ishbia, he spent a lot of money. He wants to win. If you're going to trade any of those three stars, you're probably taking major steps back and basically starting a rebuilding project. Does he really want to do that? That would be a tough decision to make. Maybe they fire Frank Vogel, but in fairness to Frank, he wasn't the majority reason why they underachieved. It was because of the injuries, with not having enough continuity and experience with that big three. And also, let it be clear, it's not like they're supporting cast for vet minimum guys. Nurkic, Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, they're all good players, but it still wasn't enough to overcome the fact that this is a top-heavy roster without, really a traditional point guard. They have a lot of things to address, but I just don't know how they do it unless they blow it up. But I don't know if that's what Matt Ishbia wants to do anyway.
Now, and then just came to mind, we covered today too. Monty Poole from NBC's Bay Area, he suggested the idea of Kevin Durant and Warriors reunion. Since they're both teams in kind of interesting situations, what's your thought on that? I mean, the window for the Warriors is growing closer. Durant's window's getting smaller. Suns clearly are a long way away. They need a lot of depth. Does that make sense for both? If the Warriors are sending Wiggins or a Kuminga or draft picks, something like that, does that work for the Suns, where they got Booker, Beal, and Kuminga? The Warriors get Durant back to one time. What are your thoughts on a Durant and Warriors reunion?
Yeah, I think it would totally make sense for the Warriors. Now, let it be clear, Kevin Durant is a game changer, but the Warriors would also need to protect themselves so that they're not repeating the Suns' problems where it's so top heavy. Because when you're looking at this season, the Warriors got by because Steph Curry's still Steph Curry. Draymond Green, when available, was playing well, but it really had to do with their young guys and not their veterans. And so you don't want to give up too much of that, but it is Kevin Durant. It's just more of the idea that you want to be able to benefit from Kevin Durant's efficiency, scoring a high level, but without, having them not have a good supporting cast and depth. With the Suns, I don't think it would make any sense. I mean, unless Kevin Durant is saying, I want to be traded and all that, he wasn't the problem with the Suns. I mean, he can be his own worst critic and say he could have done better, but when you look at his numbers, it was on par with what he's shown in his career. He played well as a defender. It was really everywhere else. I mean, Bradley Beal wasn't able to be healthy. They're not a good defensive team because they didn't have DeAndre Ayton. And that's not to say they shouldn't have traded DeAndre Ayton because there were concerns about his attitude, but they didn't have elite rim protectors. They just weren't able to have enough time together from a chemistry standpoint. So it wouldn't make sense from the Suns' perspective, but if that's the only choice they have, I guess. But I would be surprised if that were to happen.